Today, join me on a roller coaster of bad decisions and breathalyzer surprises.
A little bit harder for me, a little bit harder to go.
As we explore the world of DUI arrests. Watch how bodycams spill the tea on tipsy drivers.
I like it kinky. Touch me.
Facing a truly sobering experience. Ever seen someone this bubbly after just killing 2 people? On the 30th of April 2023, East Peoria officers responded to an accident where 23-year-old Bradley University student Stephanie Melgoza of Farmington, Illinois, hit 2 people with her car while on her way from work. The victims were pronounced dead on the scene.
Okay. I called as soon as this shit happened. I was like, this doesn't happen. Someone, your friend took my license.
Do you have a driver's license?
Your friend took my license.
Were you leaving the bar or were you coming down the road?
I was coming here.
The officer detained her and inquired if she had suffered any injuries or needed paramedic attention.
Are you hurt at all or need medics yourself?
No, sir.
Because your car's pretty beat up, so I'm making sure.
Okay.
Are you bleeding anywhere?
No, I'm okay.
She then gave a detailed account of how the accident happened.
Were you driving this way or coming down that side road?
I was coming here, this way. And suddenly, one person walked out in front of me. My car got hit. I called you as soon as they got hit.
You called 911?
Yes, I called 911. And then someone said, someone else has hit. I'm just like, oh my God.
Did they fall down right away, or did you get out and help them, or what happened?
I got out, I called you, and then everyone else came out. So
Melgoza seemed pretty confident about acing the field sobriety tests and vouched for herself to the cop.
Right now, if you had me do a test, I think I would pass. Just don't test me, but I think I would pass.
As the tests began, out came a smile that stretched from ear to ear, as if she couldn't comprehend the gravity of the situation.
And just so I know where you're... There you go. All right. Keep your head still for me.
Oh, my head. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It's hard.
All right.
Okay.
And the confidence she had from before was seen getting thrown out the window.
All right, we'll stop the test right there. Go ahead and stand right here by my front bumper. One last test for you, okay?
The breathalyzer came out, and she blew into it while letting out a few more laughs, and eventually, she was arrested for DUI after blowing 3 times over the legal limit.
Keep blowing till you hear the machine click, okay? All right?
Blowing up a what?
Yes, ma'am. Long, hard, steady blow. A little bit harder for me, a little bit harder. Keep going. On your back, you are under arrest for DUI. Okay?
An officer tried to explain the severity of the situation to her and how grave of a crime she had committed, but her response was as if she couldn't care less about the information that was being given to her.
You did hit 2 people total.
I did not.
You did.
I didn't.
However you want to word it to yourself, that's fine. Okay, I'm just telling you. The 2 people struck your vehicles, I'm telling you, and they're both deceased on scene. I'm just telling you that information, okay?
And back at the station, even with the weight of taking the lives of 2 people, Stephanie was seen humming songs and dancing away.
Ooh, eating on the beams. Shut up, that's you.
As the officer reiterated the whole scenario to her again, she played dumb and kept wondering when she would be able to take her classes again.
You're going to jail, you don't have a bond, you killed 2 people tonight. I don't think you understand that. You do not have a bond. You are not getting out of jail. It killed 2 people tonight. You are clueless with that, clearly. I've already explained this to you.
The cop finally let her have a piece of his mind.
You're all on body camera being completely careless about killing 2 people tonight. You could care less. That's sad and pathetic and horrible all at the same time.
Melgoza pleaded guilty to 2 counts of aggravated DUI death and 2 counts of aggravated reckless driving, before getting sentenced to 14 years in prison. Our next suspect is down to give a lecture on making inappropriate comments. Not that anyone ever needed one.
You wanna tase me?
No.
Do it.
Stay in the blue box.
I like it kinky.
Stuck in a bashed car in the middle of nowhere, 20-year-old Grace Spoonamore was catered to by a friendly neighborhood cop Dramatically, it was revealed that the young woman was driving under the influence, and this revelation was enough for her to be apprehended. And this was the point where things went downhill.
Stop! Don't get out! I'm asking you questions, you answer.
Get on me like that.
26 headquarters, it's a female. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Touch me real quick. It may feel intimate.
During the interrogation, Grace spat on an officer who was taking her statement. The officers had had enough of her and decided that they were not going to give her a chance to take the sobriety test and just take her straight up to the station. Upon realizing this, she violently started throwing a fit and yelled at the officers like this.
Did she just spit on you? Alright, she's going down. We're not going to test her.
I don't believe you!
For what?
I don't believe you at all! Because you wasn't there to help me when I was needed! No! I don't care! I don't care! You wasn't needed when I needed you when I was bleeding out! Where was you?
Was that in Georgia?
In a shocking turn of events, Grace told the cops about her dire encounter with the men in blue. Hence, she was unwilling to cooperate at all. Her explanation for it was the woeful interaction in the past, in which Grace was wrongfully charged and was left traumatized to act this way.
I don't believe you at all!
For what?
Because I've been abducted and cut up.
We're in Brunswick.
You let me bleed out! You let me live! Barely. I had 4.5-ounce bruises.
Okay.
You let me bleed out.
Okay.
On the side of the street.
In an unfortunate turn of events, none of this was working in her favor. Frustrated, she attempted to influence the on-duty police officers by resorting to the age-old technique of sweet-talking, or rather, attempting to seduce officers. Her strategy involved using a sweetened, high-pitched voice and making inappropriate comments in the hopes of swaying their disposition.
Stay in the car.
Okay, I understand.
Get in the car. Get your leg in the car.
Listen, handsome man.
Handsome man.
Get your leg in the car. What's that?
You want a drug bust. You feel some type of way because my leg ain't in the car?
Later, in a slip of the tongue, the drunk wannabe damsel in distress unknowingly admitted to drinking and driving, which obviously made her case even worse. Any person in their right mind would have stopped there. But not Grace. She had other plans. Only this time, she decided to dial the flirting up a notch.
I think you're drinking and driving right now.
Definitely. Who can stand a regular without drinking? You can't sell dick without selling it before it comes. You gotta make it hard.
Back at the police station, out of desperation, she made one last solid try at seducing the officer, and then threw a tantrum. Again. However, while she was at it, the frivolous woman noticed a stain on her pants. Turns out that she urinated herself in the cop car while being escorted to the station. Talk about a really messy situation.
No!
In the car.
You trying to put me in the Mexico!
No.
Do it.
Stay in the blue box.
I like it kinky. You can touch
Step
me.
back.
You touch me.
Stay in the blue box.
You didn't catch me!
Stay in the blue box.
You didn't catch me, and you didn't catch them!
She is urinating everywhere. Yes, all in the back seat of my car.
Yes.
And our next suspect decided to throw hands, or rather legs, when she was arrested for driving under the influence. In police bodycam footage, an 18-year-old woman was pulled over on April 23, 2022, after calls tipped officers off to a possible impaired driver. The woman was allegedly swerving into oncoming traffic and had hit multiple objects.
With cars that were parked on scenic going south.
And then she's like going
Like not a care in the world.
just trying to grocery shopping, filling bills, just adult things. I don't like doing things by myself because I have anxiety, so I like people coming on rides with me.
When asked for her ID, the female abruptly started reaching into her car when she was pulled back by a female officer. She then started deflecting by accusing the officers of misconduct. That's when the officer shut her up for her own good.
Ma'am, is your ID in your purse? I'll get it. Hey, I said I'll get it. Stand over there at the end of your car.
But if you were more respectful about it, if I'm just saying.
The officers wanted to know the story behind her car being totaled from the front. What followed was the most bizarre tale ever.
Apparently, what man's saying was I was drunk driving.
Okay, I take it you wasn't drunk driving.
No, I'm not drunk driving.
Has your car always been like that in the front?
This side of my car, we have a Chevrolet truck that's in its vintage. It's my grandpa's, old school Chevrolet truck.
She was then told by one of the cops that she was giving out clear indicators of being under some kind of influence, and asked whether she would be willing to do some field sobriety tests, to which she agreed.
Have you had any previous concussions the past, let's say, 10, 24 hours? Would you be willing to do a field sobriety test to dispel my suspicions that you're under the influence of any type of narcotic?
And this is how well she did on those. After seeing clear telltale signs, the officers put her under arrest. As the female officer began searching her body for harmful objects, she immediately started resisting and making inappropriate comments.
Face the car. Spread your legs. Spread your legs.
Ooh, damn, girl.
I said face down. She's straight. She's face.
Oh, you guys are gonna steal my lavender?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
As she was placed in the back of the patrol car, all hell broke loose as she threw the most extravagant fit.
Oh! Oh, you want to choke me? Oh, girl! Bitch, I was not doing nothing to you! You want to choke me?
Whilst inside the car, she began shouting at the police officers through the window and had an interesting story about her past.
My parents' phone number because last time one of you guys took me to the mental hospital to be okay, you're gonna say this is wrong, but all you guys do. My grandparents could not find me for weeks!
And then, on the way to the police station, she became delusional and started acting like her own therapist, as she told herself everything was going to be all right.
To my car, I'm gonna get bailed out. And girl,
That wasn't the case, as she was indeed booked for DUI.
whole ass.
Over here.
But what happens when, on top of being very drunk, you're also very entitled?
Leave me alone! Don't touch me!
Bodycam footage shows police confronting a New Jersey woman who crashed her Tesla, resulting in severe damages and airbag deployment. When officers made contact with the driver, they noticed there was a strong odor of alcohol coming from her. The woman, Priscilla, refused to step out of the car when police asked her to. When she did exit the car, she began threatening and yelling explicit statements at police and told them to leave her alone, while becoming increasingly hostile.
Baby, ma'am, are you injured? Are you okay? Ma'am, are you injured? Ma'am, are you injured? Ma'am, step to the back of the car, please. Ma'am. What's the matter? Come here, come here. Come here. What the hell's wrong with you? Okay, well, it's a car accident right now. The car's...
Yeah, well, I don't feel safe.
And it didn't take long for the sassy Karen within her to come out.
Excuse me, what did you just say to me?
You're not entitled to a lawyer to motor vehicle stop.
I'm not entitled to a lawyer.
Ma'am, step out, please.
Audi and a Tesla.
Ma'am, step out, please. Please step out.
I can't step out. Wait for my lawyer.
Okay, we'll wait for your lawyer, but step out, please.
No.
She talked to her lawyer over the phone and started making requests to the officers, which they politely declined. So she hurled abuses at them.
Ma'am, let's start with this. What did you hit?
Talk to a lawyer again?
Ma'am.
He doesn't want to. He said no.
ring and colon.
The officers had repeatedly asked her to step away from the car, but she wasn't listening. So they tried to gently move her away, but she became extremely hysterical and did this.
I need you to step away from the car, okay?
No, I'm gonna
Step
stay
away
here.
from the
Not touch me. Do not touch me. I feel safe here. Thank you. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. I got assaulted, you piece of shit.
Her boyfriend then showed up and told the officer about the proceedings that led up to the accident.
She got chased by an ex. We were at my place. We came outside. I was going to drive her home. We got a wedding tomorrow. I can show you the dress.
Dating, married?
Yeah, we're dating. We're looking to get engaged. That's when he hit me with the car. I was trying to talk to him. I was standing in front of the car, but I was not. And then he just drove right into me.
She confronted her boyfriend, and the whole event certainly turned dramatic as she stopped him from saying stuff that was rather concerning.
Honey, you can't live this way. No, you can't live this way.
Oh, please. I don't want anything. No, nothing.
I can show you her dress on the thing. I was driving her home. We were leaving her car. And we came out and his car was there.
Later identified as Priscilla, she was placed in handcuffs for DUI and kept on lashing out at the cops as they asked her further questions.
Leave me the alone. I do not want to talk to you. Okay?
Some people in this world can find any situation amusing, even one in which they are about to see the inside of a jail cell. On October 15, 2023, shortly after midnight, Officer Love Andre with the Pullman Police Department observed a 2014 Toyota Tacoma driving without headlights in the vicinity of Northeast Colorado Street and Northeast Opal Street. He followed the vehicle and eventually initiated a traffic stop at 305 North Grand Avenue in front of Timber. He proceeded to make contact with the driver, who was identified as 20-year-old Laura Anderson. After he made contact with Laura, he asked her if she knew why she was being stopped and where she was coming from. Laura told the officer that she was transporting two unidentified females and that she had met at Domino's Pizza because she was sober.
Where are you coming from?
I just was at Domino's picking up pizza and then I grabbed them because she needed a ride. They needed a ride. I'm drunk and I was not, so I offered.
Any alcohol to drink tonight?
No. Like 6 hours ago or more. I don't know them. She just asked me. I don't know.
Officer Andre noticed that Laura's eyes indicated signs of impairment, and he asked her how much she had been drinking. Laura initially said she had not consumed any alcohol, but later admitted to drinking about 6 to 8 hours earlier that day. Based on his suspicion of impairment, Officer Andre asked Laura to exit the vehicle and offered her an opportunity to participate in field sobriety exercises.
Ball tip of my pen.
When he makes you happy, you're happy. You know, like capital. Yeah.
So when was the actual last time you had something to drink?
Like genuinely, like probably 6 to 8 hours ago. Yeah. I had 2 seltzers, like a long time ago. Genuinely. Always red. Genuinely, like I promise you,
Would you be willing to perform some voluntary field sobriety tests?
Yes, absolutely.
The first exercise was the horizontal gaze nystagmus, or HGN test, and Officer Andre observed a lack of smooth pursuit, distinct and sustained nystagmus at maximum deviation, and vertical nystagmus in both eyes.
So I'm going to run you through a series of tests.
Okay.
I'm going to be evaluating you on not only how well you perform the test, but also how well you follow my directions.
Okay.
One more. We're going to go up.
The second exercise was the walk and turn test. During the walk and turn test, Laura did not make heel-to-toe contact on each step and turned improperly.
This test is going to be the walk and turn. So I'm going to place you into what's called the starting position. You can just stay in the same position that you were just in.
1, 2, 3, and then this way. And then, is this my lead foot? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oop.
The final exercise was the one-leg stand test. During the one-leg stand test, Laura hopped twice and displayed a lack of balance.
Ready?
Ready.
And begin.
1001, 1004. God, I knew I'd be so bad.
Following the field sobriety exercises, Officer Andre offered Laura an opportunity to take a preliminary breath test, or the PBT. During the test, she started laughing hysterically and found the whole situation quite amusing. The results of the PBT indicated that Laura's BAC was 0.120%, which was over the legal limit of 0.08%.
Called the preliminary breath test. It does not replace the evidentiary breath test that we may take at a later time.
Keep blowing, blow harder, hard. You gotta blow harder than that, okay?
Yeah, you gotta blow out.
Yeah.
Got it. Sorry.
Keep blowing harder, 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 harder. So you gotta open your teeth up. Open your teeth. Perfect.
You know what the legal limit is, Laura?
0.08.
0.08.
Point. That's what I meant. That's right.
And you're 0.12.
Based on her inability to perform the field sobriety exercises and the results of the PBT, Officer Andre placed Laura under arrest for driving under the influence. She was not handcuffed because she had a cast on her right arm. Laura was placed in a patrol car and transported to the Pullman Police Department for further processing.
So let me place you under arrest for DUI. Place your arms around your back.
Yes.
No, it's alright, I'll figure it out.
No, it is October 15th. You are being audio and video recorded. Okay, I'll grab your phone out of there and then I'll bring it down to him with the station. He's going to take you out and then I'll get the car parked somewhere, okay?
Thank you very much.
Once they were at a police HQ, a search of her wallet yielded 3 fictitious driver's licenses, and she again let out some giggles while talking to the cop.
Yeah, you as well.
I actually really appreciate it. That's my fake one. From a long time ago, obviously here. I have real ones in the front. This one's really bad too.
Officer Andre advised Laura of her constitutional rights as she broke down into tears. She then suddenly started laughing again and agreed to waive her rights and answer questions. The officer also read the implied consent warning to her, and she agreed to submit breath samples for testing after consulting with an attorney.
Physical control of the vehicle under the influence or...
But I haven't been processed. That's happening. I'm just kind of going.
If you submit to this breath test and the test is administered, your driver's license, permit, or privilege to drive will be suspended, revoked, or denied. I would rather have an attorney explain that to you.
Okay.
All right?
After Officer Andre had finished administering the breathalyzer, he placed Laura in a cell. Following a brief holding period, Laura was removed from the cell to be photographed and fingerprinted. Officer Andre cited Laura under RCW 46-61502 for 1 count of driving under the influence and under RCW 46-20-0921-1A for 3 counts of displaying or possessing a fraudulent license. After she was issued her citations, Laura was released pending her court appearance. Remember, the only acceptable shots should be camera shots, not booze shots. Hit that like button, subscribe for more gripping content, and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below.